What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling. Wrestling is good.
Why do you do that?
Oh.
Why not?
It's fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald right here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Appreciate everybody tuning in to this week's Spot Show live stream. Of course, with me, Ronald Ray. Hopefully, everybody's having a very good week so far. Tomorrow is Friday. For some of you, it's going to be payday. For some of you, it's just going to be another day because you're going to have to work the weekend. And we appreciate those folks, too, who have to work the weekend. Anyway, if this is your first time viewing it, appreciate it. For those of you who viewed it before, welcome back. Also, if you're slightly entertained, hit that like button. Leave a comment. We got a chat board up here, so leave comments, ask questions during the show, and we'll get to them at the end of close to the end of the program, where I usually call it open forum, where I just kind of bullshit about things. Can I say bullshit right now? Guess I can. Anyway, so yeah, if you enjoy the show, hit the like button, leave a comment, share with friends, and be a champ. And hit that subscribe button. Just try and wait for a few minutes, see if anybody pops up. Let's go ahead and get the sad news out of the way. I just found out, as I was doing my little prep here, my professionally done prep here, Jackie Crockett passed away. He's the brother of Jim Crockett Jr. and David Crockett. Of course, the son of Jim Crockett Sr., or as the wrestlers used to call him, Big Jim. He mainly worked as a cameraman for JCP and WCW. He is described as the fun Crockett. From what I gather, from what I read and watched by him in the past, he really stayed away from the business side. He let David and Jim Crockett Jr. handle that. Basically, his brothers handled that. He just ran the camera and had fun. So he was always deemed the fun Crockett. So condolences go out to his family and friends, and may he rest in peace. Jackie Crockett. Uh-oh. Phone's already going off. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. And this highly professional ran show. Anyway, okay. Now that's gone through. Let's see. Well, it is Jackie Crockett. So I mean, yeah. I mean, I've seen Jackie Crockett or pictures of him. He does look more like David than he did Jim. Jim always had those, you know, hollow or owl-like eyes, or whatever. I think Jim Jr. favored Senior more than he did. Anyway, but yeah, that does. I mean, they are brothers. In other words, they said share the same genes, DNA, all that good stuff. So, like I said, condolences go to the family. Hello, Joe King. Hello, Brenda Watson. Hopefully you folks are having a good week. I think I already did my little spiel about that. Appreciate you folks tuning in this week. And like I said, had some bad news to strike early, or to talk about, first thing. Like I said, I just found out about as I was doing my highly professional show prep here, because this is a highly professional production here. Anyway, enough of that goofy stuff. Let's get in some quick little news. Not much news today, um, or this week. Either not much news, or I just haven't been paying attention that well. Let's go into the updated WrestleMania card. Of course, WrestleMania this year takes place in Philadelphia, Saturday, April 6th, and Sunday, April 7th. Uh, will you folks be tuning in? Did you hear about how much seats are for that show? I was listening to another podcast this week. If this is your first time watching, sometimes I'll uh, go off on not really a tangent, but uh, go off subject a little bit. But yeah, this is to another podcast. Uh, digress. That's the word I'm looking for. Sometimes I digress into something else. But uh, but this does pertain to WrestleMania. Uh, listen to another podcast, and they were talking about how the 2 day seat or 2 day pass for WrestleMania and the upper nosebleeder seats. I don't remember the number exactly. I think it was like 800, close to $1,000 or something like that. That's for upper level. It's somewhere between 700 and $1,000. 2 day pass, one seat, upper level. If you're on ringside, 1 day pass was like 770 or something like that, and a 2 day pass is like 1,500. Um, but yeah, it's amazing how much tickets are for anything like that day. Concert tickets are like outrageous too. Um, so gosh darn, glad I got to see that AEW show for. Well, the ticket price was like $20. I think floor seats were like 48. That's for 1 day for the Collision and Ring of Honor show. Anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand, because like I said, highly professional show here. Anyway, Philadelphia, Saturday, April 6th, Sunday, April 7th. And an updated card here we got. It's official now. It is going to be Gunther going up against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title. Just don't be surprised if somebody else is shoved in there. I particularly would have rather seen Chad Gable if they was going to put somebody in there, but I don't think they fed Gunther Sami Zayn yet, so I for one be rooting for Gunther to chop the crap out of this Sami Zayn character. Uh, but nothing against Sami Zayn. I'm just more of a Gunther fan. Another match been added. It's going to be a 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Of course, your reigning and defending champions are the Judgment Day members, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. They're going to be going up against 5 other teams. I'm pretty sure DIY, um, Pretty Deadly probably be one of them. Pete Dunne and gosh, I forgot his tag team partner off the top of my head. Sorry, Bates. Um, I'm pretty sure they'll be in there. Huh, wouldn't it be funny if they put in JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio? That would be kind of hilarious. The 6-1. Can't. Heck, I'm off of my WWE tag teams here. Seems like there's a bunch of them. Then, oh, I'm pretty sure. Oh gosh, what's their names? What's their names? Uh, Street Profits. Sorry, folks. I am bad with names. Very hurt. I'm pretty sure Street Profits, DIY, of course. Uh, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Um, and did I say Pretty Deadly already? Um, so yeah, DIY, Pretty Deadly, uh, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bates, and Street Profits. I'm pretty sure there's another tag team. Hell, this stick Chad Gable a notice right there. But they ain't been doing too much in tag teams. But anyway, this is the updated card so far. I know he threw out the challenge, but I don't think it's been made official yet. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna put Jey Uso against Jimmy Uso. On paper, it sounds like a good match, but sometimes brother versus brother matches kind of they kind of lay an egg. I remember the first Stardust versus Goldust match. That was kind of a dub, but they did have a match in AEW which was pretty solid. I think more people dug it because of the blood and all that good stuff. Why does everybody keep texting me right now? I'm sorry, folks. Anyway, so yes, the so far updated card it goes along with the WWF or WWE Women's Championship match. Io Sky versus Bailey. For the Women's World Championship, it will be Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Uh, First night main event, Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. If Roman or Rock wins, the Cody versus Reigns match will be a Bloodline Rules match, which means anything goes. If Cody and Seth win, then the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match will be a one-on-one occasion, no outside interference. It's man on man. And of course, your night two co-main event is Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And of course, your main event is for the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Uh, Karen Poole, she is here. Sorry she's late. That's okay. Uh, I had to start off with sad news, and now I'm on to uh, the updated card. So the only thing you missed was a little bit of sad news and me digressing about ticket prices. So didn't miss much. Um, so yeah, this card for WrestleMania is looking like a pretty good one so far, if you ask me. I mean, I think Sami Zayn versus Gunther just by himself will be good enough. Like I said, be root for Gunther. Um, just like to see Sammy get smacked around a little bit. Don't know what it is about him. Anyway, so speaking of WrestleMania weekend, they will also have the. Uh oh, what happened there? Uh oh, my highly trained production team make me look like an amateur instead of a professional like I am. Anyway, of course, WrestleMania weekend we had the Hall of Fame ceremonies, and we got about three more names I think they've added here. One of them being Muhammad Ali. He made an appearance at WrestleMania 1. Always a wrestling fan. Um, I know he made appearances for Mid South Wrestling. He was in the corner of the Snowman when he wrestled, I believe, Jake. Oh no, what Jake Roberts? It was the Barbarian, uh, nor the Barbarian, not you know, uh, Sion. I think it's the head shrinker. What? Not the Powers of Pain Barbarian, but nor the Barbarian. Um, Snowman was a wrestler that I think that was trying to sort of try and replace JYD, and he was kind of a bad choice. I'm not sure if my history is right. I don't know. Can't remember if Snowman came in after JYD left and went to the WWF, and of course, could have been one of those periods where because JYD was kind of turned into a what do you call it attraction, so he would kind of go on every territory, world class, Georgia, uh, to make appearance there, and because it was a draw. Of course, they didn't really mention that in the what Dark Side of the Ring, which the new season of Dark Side of the Ring has started. And I have not watched neither episode yet. I usually just binge watch those in one day. But anyway, so yeah, Muhammad Ali, he's going to be inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, and apparently his little uh, gab was very much inspired by Gorgeous George. So yeah, the guy was a wrestling fan, and when he got to make appearances for wrestling events, uh, he jumped to it. Um, at the big World Peace Summit, what wrestling thing what they had in Korea that year, go back and watch Dark Side Arena on that one. He made an appearance there, so yeah. Uh, anytime anytime he hang out with wrestlers, Muhammad Ali will definitely jump to it. Another inductee this year is Thunderbolt Patterson. This is kind of surprising me. Usually they save a guy like him for the uh, legacy wing or whatever, which basically they throw up a bunch of names and say, "Oh, there's legacy win or legacy wing," and leave it at that. Bruiser Brody, what's one? Uh, Toots Monts one. There's a couple more, I think. I think they're actually going to do it again this year, which I wish they wouldn't. Uh, People like this also need their at least one more time to, in the spotlight, show little appreciation to the legends. Let the fans know that or let these guys know that fans do appreciate them. Because let's face it, yes, it's true. There's no physical WWE Hall of Fame, but it's just a kind of a nice token. One more day in the spotlight for the fans kind of cheer for and stuff like that. It's more for the fans than it is them. Um, Kind of wish they would put it in an actual physical Hall of Fame somewhere, but I think there have been talks and talks ceased. Guess they kind of wonder if they actually do make money, but yeah, Thunderbolt Passion, big name in the territories. Drew money in the Carolinas. Drew some money in Georgia. Him and Jim Wilson, I think at one time they did partner up with Ann Gunkel to run wrestling, trying to do um, try give him great pay, guarantee pay, health insurance, union, that sort of stuff. Um, then of course this is in Jim Wilson's book. I'm not going to use the exact words, but different words. Basically, it seemed like when they went to court case do this antitrust thing for the NWA at the time. Thunderbolt kind of went cold, said, well, uh, not all of it's paid, blah blah blah. Then wind up getting a job for Georgia. Ole Anderson, hired him back. I think Ole Anderson, if I'm if I'm remembering correctly, I think he's hired and fired him plenty of times. There's also you can go back on YouTube. I might share the link here where he was on the panel on the Morton Downey Jr. show. It was him, Joe Wilson, Dr. D. David Schultz. No, he didn't slap somebody, but he sure as heck threatened to slap some people. But it's a really a pretty interesting little episode there. Um, uh, but yes, um, so I think Claudio, I think it was it Claudio, uh, I forgot his real name. Sorry. Anyway, Thunderbolt Patterson. Uh, he was good friends with Ole Anderson, of course. Would partner with Jim Wilson trying to do the union thing, but he's definitely got a legacy there. Very much a gift for gab as far as promos. Uh, but I think he sometimes will have his. I don't think I never heard him about drug issues. I think it's mainly just not very dependable. But other than that, he did draw money when he was there and all that good stuff. So congratulations to him. Um, so yeah, it's funny, it's like, hey, Thunderbolt's getting in. He was partner with Ole Anderson. Of course, I ain't gonna put Ole Anderson in there because uh, he told Mama and Daddy-in-law to go f themselves. So for sure, pretty sure Triple H is not going to be keen on putting Ole Anderson. Hey, Ole Anderson might be in the legacy wing, unfortunately. But anyway, congratulations to him. Also, uh, Leah Maivia, the grandmother of The Rock, she was the first female of color. I hate saying that. Polynesian woman to run a wrestling promotion. She was promoter, owner. She wasn't the first female. That first female was actually Ann Gunkel. Ann Gunkel here, picture with her husband Ray Gunkel. Would love to do a deep dive on this, that whole situation. That's one of those that's like, here's one story, here's another story. Somewhere in the middle, we gotta come up with a truth here. Um, but yeah, when her husband passed away, uh, she took over the ABC booking, and then things happened. Don't know what. I wasn't there, but like I say, you got. I think the popular story is NWA came in to crush her, and the other, uh, and the and the other story was, hey, Ray already had this in plan, and she just, when he passed, she just went along with it. So, take for that, but would love to do some deep research on this, and uh, hopefully one day I get this channel big enough, I can um, interview a couple people there. Uh, Not yet. I, I I'll get to that one later. We'll put that on the bullshit list. Um, or the excuse me. I call it my bullshit segment. My bullshit by about wrestling and everything else. Uh, I don't open forum. I guess is better for people to read and actually put bullshit on there. So in the description. So that's why way I put it. But I'll leave it at that right now. I mean, should Lex go? Sure. Sid. I'll put Lex in before Sid. There's a lot of people I will put in there before Sid. Not saying he shouldn't go in there, but um, Lex Luger should be in there. Uh, I say, well, I mean, Arn Anderson's in there as part of the Four Horsemen. Arn Anderson should be kind of by himself too, but I guess he's happy with the with that. Uh, See, I have to really think about who's in there, who's not. Um, and they're kind of, I mean, they did put a territory guy in there, so you got Batista. Yeah, it says a former world champion for WCW and WWF, but that was that year they didn't really know what to do either. Yep, former WWE champion, but uh, I still feel there's some people that should, not many people should go before Sid, but not saying Sid shouldn't be in there, but I still say maybe a small group, 4 or 5 people maybe to before Sid. Owen Hart, but unfortunately Martha Hart's not going to let that happen. Um, Brad Armstrong, of course, he should go. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't go, but you know he'll he'll unfortunately be in that legacy wing. Midnight Express definitely should go in there. Um, let's see who else. There's somebody I'm missing. So Lex, I think should go before Sid. Um, Obviously, I already said Batista. Uh, yeah, in that one match, he was more over than Sean. I mean, the dude was over, but dude was kind of flaky too. Like I said, I'm not saying he should be in, but there's people I would put kind of in front of him. I just can't right now think off the top of my head who. I said for like I said Lex, uh, Batista, Midnight Express. Let's see who else. Um, dang it. See, that's the bad thing about it. They kind of put in Owen Hart. Then maybe Sid. But pretty sure. I'm not sure where WrestleMania is going. And you got to understand too. They kind of do these things by location too. I mean, even though Thunderbolt Pashlin wasn't a big star in Philadelphia, I don't think. Um, but Sid, he'll probably be a semi guy. So, uh, but then again, I mean, he did have a short run at ECW, but you've already put Paul in there. They don't want to put too many people who's not WWE guys, which I don't know. This year is well, I mean, yeah, Muhammad Ali, Thunderbolt Passion. I don't think worked for Vince. I'll have to look back on that one, but I only things I've ever heard from him, he was a star in the Southeast as well, and in Texas. I forgot Texas. Of course, you know, uh, Leah Maivia. I'm pretty sure there's a little more influence in as far as The Rock being there. So hey, got this Samoan thing going on. Let's go ahead and put Leah Maivia in there. Let's put Grandma in there. Got Dad in there. Um, and hey, there's a person that should be. I mean, she tried. Whatever the story is, she tried, but uh, the fact is that she did take all the talent that Georgia had time made her own, and except for Bob Armstrong, of course, he stuck with the Fullers. He was faithful to the Fullers. Uh, they're in Philadelphia. Um, they put uh, he's a he, you gotta understand they want to sell tickets to this thing too. Uh, I, there's another guy. I think Tommy Dreamer should be in there. Um, did Sabu ever get into the Hall of Fame? I don't think he has. I know Rob Van Dam has. Very deserving. Uh, there's a yeah. I mean Shane Douglas, uh, ECW guy. If you want to base it on his ECW career, I think Sabu, Shane Douglas, Sandman, because he was a big star. Uh, the Eliminators, the Gangstas. Uh, I know New Jack's passed away, but basically, right now, Heyman is in the WWE. He works for the WWE, and I mean, he just has to work when I mean, he just works with the part timers. So, uh, he managed The Rock. Now he manages Roman Reigns in the Bloodline. He's a wise man. He's a mouthpiece, and he was the figurehead of ECW. ECW is based out of Philadelphia, so that's going to basically make the fans happy that Paul Heyman is going to the WWE. I mean, I don't like when they put active people in there too, but come on. Uh, Edge was supposedly retired, but yet he got his Hall of Fame and came back. Um, let's see. Steve Austin only had one match when he came back, so I won't really count that. Uh, I mean, I agree that if somebody's going to the Hall of Fame, let's make sure they're completely retired. But like I said, it's been Philadelphia. It's about making the fans happy. The Philadelphia fans are definitely going to be happy seeing Paul Heyman up there being a Hall of Famer now. So that's right or wrong. Uh, that's the way it is. I have no problem with Paul Heyman this year going to the Hall of Fame this year. I think it's cool. Uh, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. They sort of run out of people to put in because they're only gonna put in certain people. Like I said, I wish that following year after they put put the Rock and Roll Express in. They should have put uh the Midnight Express in. That way, but because now it seems it's kind of sad now if you do. I mean, I still want Midnight Express to be in there, but I wish Bobby Eaton was still around to be there to, you know, so you can see how fans appreciated him. Um, but anyway, yeah. So that's so far the new lineup for the Hall of Fame that goes along with Bull Nakano. Um, she spent a very little time in the WWF. Big star in Japan. Uh, and like I said, if she was wrestling today, she would definitely be a top star. Because she was very good. The U.S. Express again. This I can see where you say you're reaching here. Could have Mike Rotundo by himself going there, maybe. Uh, but his WWF WWE success, was is was based in two tag teams, one being the U.S. Express and the other one being Money Inc. And I think there's a little bit of Ted DiBiase right now has his own podcast, whatever. Uh, but there's a little bit of black cloud on Ted DiBiase as far as kind of running a scam. Uh, so they're like, well, let's bring Barry Windham back, and so Barry Windham now is going to be a two-time Hall of Famer. One being a Horseman and one being member of the U.S. Express. Um, and of course, like the person we mentioned, Paul Heyman, um, has it kind of run its course. I don't know. I think people still dig it. I mean, like I said before, I wish they would go ahead and do a physical Hall of Fame. Maybe unless they're actually going to put in like legends. Uh, Instead of this legacy wing, screw that. If they're still around, make whatever amends you have to, and go with it. I'd like to see an Austin Idol. Speaking of great talkers and stuff like that, who, uh, he did have a short run as Mike McCord and Vince Senior's WWF, you know, and a bigger star in the Southeast. Hey, put some of these territory guys in the Hall of Fame. Um, like an Austin Idol, like a Bill Dundee. Uh, so I think Jim Duggan's already in there. I'm not sure. One Man Gang. I guess if WWE is going to put them in the Hall of Fame, it's going to be under uh, the Hakeem the African Dream gimmick. And of course, you don't know. See, here's the thing too. Vince don't own this no more, so there's no telling what Triple H, and TKO is going to do. They probably like, hey, let's go ahead and reach out to some legit legends and put them in. Uh, it's not too late. There's YouTube people and look these people up. You got like Orange Show who talks about especially people who wrestled during his time. Um, Great point. Arn Anderson, he started with the Fullers. So why not put Ron Fuller, Robert Fuller in there, not as you know Colonel Parker or anything like that, just Robert Fuller. Uh, and it's not going to be your main event of the Hall of Fame ceremony. You don't have to have your big, sort of not really current, but sort of name that everybody remembers go in there. Um, but let some of these legends have a moment to shine. And for F's sake, uh, build an actual WWE Hall of Fame somewhere. I'm pretty sure there's got to be something that they probably don't think they can make money with it. It's got to be that, or they just don't want to for whatever reason. I think it would make money. I mean, they have the Baseball Hall of Fame, they have Hockey Hall of Fame, NBA Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Fame, NASCAR Hall of Fame. Um, but and speaking of possibly future Hall of Famers, there's a little bit of story of about Brock Lesnar. I know that his name got dropped in the whole uh, Vince McMahon scandal right now, but there have been rumors spreading, and of course, this is based on the Wrestling Observer Live. So if you trust it, trust it. If you don't, this is where I'm getting it from, or this is where the news site that I got they got the story from. Uh, there have been rumors spreading regarding Brock Lesnar's status on the WWE.com roster page. From what we've gathered, it appears that Brock Lesnar had not actually been removed from the roster page at any point. Nevertheless, according to Brian Alvarez during the Wrestling Observer Live, there are indeed efforts underway to facilitate his return. On Wrestling Observer Live, Alvarez made the following statement today. Well, okay, this was a few days ago. In the last few days, there have been moves regarding Brock Lesnar. If you listen to the show last night with Dave Meltzer, everything we talked about is accurate other than the roster page. There are movements to bring him back. Alvarez continued. I should add, regarding Brock, I'm not saying he's going to be back. I have no idea if he's going to be back. I wouldn't bring him back, but I can tell you there have been inquiries made, and what that means, we will wait and see. It seems like a bad idea to me. Put it just to put it that way. Um, so depends on who you like, who you listen to. Apparently, they know something we don't know as far as Brock Lesnar's involvement in this scandal. Maybe he has no involvement. I don't know. I have my opinions. I'll leave it. If you want my opinion, it wouldn't surprise me if Brock Lesnar, from what I've a little bit of I heard about his involvement in the whole thing. Basically, he was sent. Supposedly, he was sent a video of her, the lady who Vince crapped on. Uh, Sent him, or she sent him, or she sent Vince. Vince sent him, or whatever. And this was supposed to entice him to re-sign with the company. Not to say I'm Brock Lesnar's best friend, but I'm just judging by what I've been told and well, what I've read, not like personally been told, but what I read and I've heard as far as people telling stories. Only thing you gotta do with Brock Lesnar for him to sign with a company is add enough zeros to that paycheck. Uh, I've seen pictures of this young lady who's involved in this. I don't know what Rena Miro looks like now, or excuse me, Rena Lesnar looks like now. She was hot back in the day. He is married to her. They got kids. I'm pretty sure Brock Lesnar, as big as name he is, if he was going to mess around on Rena Miro, personal opinion, he would get hotter than this chick. Sorry. That's just my honest opinion. Now maybe Vince told her, sent him a picture. He laughed, but it didn't have nothing to do with uh, getting him to sign a contract. Like I said, Brock Lesnar, he's about money. Uh, the only thing that's going to entice, Brock Lesnar to sign a deal with Vince or whoever is to make sure that money figure's right. It ain't going to take some video of some girl. It's going to take money. And that's the bottom line. And that's all I'm going to. That's my opinion about Brock Lesnar's involvement. If I'm wrong, fine then. If he's guilty of something, as I've always said during the Vince thing, when I talked about the Vince thing, if they're guilty, fine, throw them in jail, do whatever. Oh, never mind. This is a civil case. Give her the money, so be it. Then drop it. Um, but that's my 2 cent opinion. Anyway, enough of the WWE stuff. Let's go to AEW. And of course, if you watched last night's Dynamite, you will see straight from Magic City. Just kidding. Uh, Mercedes Moné is now all elite. So she made the hometown return, gave the same little babyface promo about, ever since she was a little girl, this was her dream, where she was taking care of her brother, blah, blah, blah. Um, yeah. That same promo um, that she'll probably say for the next few years. Like I said, it is what it is. Uh, but again, just my opinion. I think this is a multi-year deal, so I'm thinking 3 years, I guess. Uh, I say about 3 years when she makes her return to Raw. Uh, Sasha, Sasha Banks is going to get a bigger pop, and that'll be it. She'll get a bigger pop, get the welcome back chance. Then she'll wrestle a few matches here and there, whatnot. Maybe not the same. Maybe not the same fanfare that CM Punk got, but she'll get her pop. I'm not. Maybe I don't think she'll be front and center, maybe, but she'll get her pop. Everybody say welcome back, Sasha. And no matter how little or big of a spotlight the WWE gives Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Moné, um, no matter how big of a spotlight, uh, she still will probably get a better reaction. So, good for her. She's getting paid. She's getting what she wants. And how is she a CEO? Well, I'm pretty sure, just like she's having to use Mercedes Moné, uh, she's got to use CEO Mercedes Moné instead of the boss, Sasha Banks, because somebody probably owns part of that name, I guess, or just didn't want to totally use everything that made her over in the WWE, which, mm, um, like I said, all set for the name and everything. It's all there still. And of course, I know you're not going to be able to change everything. Of course, last night I was like, damn, there's something missing here. Stripper pole. But, oh, I'm being evil tonight, ain't I? But yeah, she's there. I think she still might be a little injured. Let's see. Signed a multi-dealer contract. They're, I don't know. Let's see. Moreover, New Japan Pro Wrestling expecting to play a role in this new arrangement, believing as of January that their collaboration with Monet will persist. New Japan Pro Wrestling insiders expressed their hopes to resume their prior engagement with her, despite her setback from an injury last May, emphasizing, however, that AEW would take precedence. Yeah, of course, AEW's good about playing ball with AEW or New Japan Pro Wrestling. Joe said the same thing. Where's the pole at? uh, and uh, let's see. Another thing that this article points out: the injury in question, which occurred in May, uh, necessitated dual surgical interventions during negotiations for potential agreements elsewhere. Uh, Monet made it clear that she is not yet in condition to return to the ring action to in-ring action. So she's still kind of on the mends. Even though she got a little physical last night. And of course that's after she came in and saved Willow Nightingale. Um, and then Willow Nightingale gave her the spotlight, and she walked out. Hey, it's her hometown and everything, but oh, excuse me, that was rude of me. Um, let's talk about a little history here. Uh, there was this promotion in Atlanta. Uh, Out of the ashes of the Jim Crockett promotion, birthed Ted Turner's money, and Ted Turner's like, okay, let's, Mr. Bischoff, let's, get some talent in here. Who do you got? Who can we bring in? Um, they brung in established big names: Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, uh, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, who were Diesel, Razor Ramon, brought back uh, Ted DiBiase, Six Pac, and Six Pac left, or X Pac, whatever you want to call him. He left. Lightning Kid, Shaw Waltman. Uh, let's see, brought back Ric Flair. Even before this, uh, they had a lot of big names, and they had a lot of up and comers too, and really didn't do nothing with. Uh, so uh, some of the young talent that they had, like a uh, John Paul Levesque, who went on to grow up to become Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, uh, a guy by the name of Mankind, who was Cactus Jack, a guy by the name of Stunning Steve Austin, who became Stone Cold. Basically, the stars that WCW could have, if they'd done things right, could have been stars for their company. They let go. Didn't really. Once they got the Hulk Hogan's and all that, they kind of put them on the back burner. And WCW is no more. Now I'm not saying AEW is going to go under anytime soon. Uh, I think as long as somebody gives them a TV spot, kind of like TNA slash Impact slash TNA again. As long as they get a TV spot, they'll still be in business. Um, but you got Sasha Banks, Mercedes Monet, uh, Edge, Sting just retired. Uh, Now you do got established, somewhat young names. They're in their mid 30s, I think. Will Ospreay and uh, Akishna Okada. I think if I pronounced that right. Um, there's probably a reason they didn't give him as much money as Tony Khan did. It's not because their inabilities or their ability in the ring or anything like that, or potential ability. It's just not quite there yet. They got the talent there. Come in, see what you got, see what happens. Nope, let's take the bigger money now and be their star, which, hey, hopefully it works out for them. Nothing wrong with that. Uh, but you put a young talent on the back burner. Jay Carhill, who you pushed to the moon, left. Brian Pillman Jr. physically looks like he can go. He needed to change his gimmick, change his look, but nobody there had the idea to do it. And basically, as soon as his contract ran out, he left. Uh, I sliced his king. Let's hope for the best for him. Basically, you're going to start having some of your younger talent you're pushing to the curb, or pushing to the back. Some of these not all of them, maybe one or two of these young wrestlers going to picture off in WWE. What? You want me to do NXT a little bit? Sure, why not? If you want me to improve myself? Sure, I'll do it. One, two, group of the. I mean, they already have a good group of people who are got potentials to be big stars in NXT already. Uh, Braun Breaker. Hopefully they get with it. Hopefully they get rid of that Breaker name. Just call him Steiner. Everybody knows he's a Steiner. Um, but yeah. Um, and I mean, you got this other sister promotion, Ring of Honor, and I went to the Collision show. It's been on TV now. Uh, what's that group? Got the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, who Amber Moon. I forgot what they call her there, but she's Amber Moon, and basically she's running out of challengers because she beat all the Ring of Honor, I guess, talent. Maybe a couple, AEW talent, but or you know the big, the main show champion or people. Uh, they can bring in a former AEW World Women's Champion to face her. What are you gonna do? Beat her too? You, your sister promotion is not really doing much to help younger talent. Uh, and of course, you get people from your main roster at AEW to come down to Ring of Honor to beat the Ring of Honor people. Uh, okay, when I went there, like I was in section 103. Uh, Now apparently they're supposed to have 102 and the rest of them or rest of that back end tarped off. But I think they released tickets, so a few of those were taken. Uh, um, so and of course the hard cam side was nobody there. So it looked slightly less than a Dynamite. That I went to back in August. Or we went to back in August. Um, kayfabe. Uh, but was it sold out or anything? No. Neither was the Dynamite. I don't think the Dynamite. They don't. They. I don't think they sell anything as far as a hard cam side. So, and there was probably slightly less people from the Dynamite that we went to. Now, was it packed this time around for Dynamite? I don't know. Uh, but and usually usually tapings don't draw houses. Uh, Usually tapings will. Now I mean SmackDown tapings used to draw houses. I know a couple times I went to SmackDown tapings, they did pretty good back in. Uh, Actually, it's been a while. Uh, Back when Chris Benoit was alive. I think before 2007. They had a show at Gwinnett Arena, or Gas South Arena, that used to be called Gwinnett Arena, and they had a pretty packed house, mostly packed, even hard cam side. But um, but and then again, maybe if they just do things right, you know, uh, I know I went off the tangent before, but there's a right way to kind of do things. Have these veteran let Monet work these 2 years. Have us sit down and say, hey, are you even considering signing with us for another 2, 3 years? Or you want to go back home, or you want to, if that's the case, we're going to build a program and you're going to put somebody's going to be the next big female star over. Um, it seems like Edge and Christian, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are out there having fun. They get to wrestle each other. Um, I guess maybe they're gonna eventually let Killswitch turn babyface and maybe uh, put him in a program with Christian Cage. Who knows? Uh, Not sure how they're going. Nick Wayne, he's young. Let him grow into it. Uh, Christian Cage probably just going to teach him a few things and maybe put him with another veteran. Because, like I said, he's what, barely 20. So, uh, but again, it's going to be like, okay, guys, here's your 3 years. You ready to put somebody else over? I mean, at least Sting tagged with Darby Allin and, put a lot of spotlight on him. Even though Darby Allin did crazy shit. Um, uh, no way I would. As I'm an older person now, uh, sometimes I look at things and go, no way in hell I would do that. No way in hell I would jump off the top rope and land on glass. I don't care what kind of glass it is. It's glass, then a hard floor. Um, and that glass didn't look like it helped break any of his fall, and he got stitches. Don't Not sure how those stitches going to handle high elevation like Mount Everest. Uh, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. AEW has Sasha Banks now. Whatever. Uh, she'll get hers in. She got money. She got paid. Can't knock a girl for getting paid, right? I can't knock anybody for getting paid. Go get your money. That's what I always say. Love capitalism. Go get paid. If somebody else is not, hey, this goes for any field of work. If they're not paying you, you don't like what you're doing, and you have experience, go find that other job. Put in your notice. Tell you the truth, you put in notice, you got a 50-50 shot of saying, hey, okay, since you're leaving anyway, uh, get with HR, get with whoever, or adios. Uh, Good luck. And you get a 2 week vacation. Okay, it might not be paid vacation, but um, but yeah, any field of work, you got experience, you don't like your situation, you don't be paid more money, find another line. Either find another line of work where your skills can be used, or just find something else to do. Don't be like me. Don't spend a whole lot of money and excuse me, uh, get, get some more education and not use it yet. Um, but that's neither here. We're not talking about me. Mine will come someday, but not just yet. I got one more run left. One more run left. I can feel it. I got one more run left. I don't think anybody I work with watches this anyway, so. But if you're watching, hey, brother, I got one more run left. Woo! I'm just kidding. Anyway, um, so when I was let's get off the AEW, the soapbox thing, because quite frankly, I want AEW to succeed. I want Impact to be bigger. I want true alternative. Blah blah blah. I said it 100 times. Don't need to say it anymore. But anyway, when I was going through here, trying to do some professional prepping on my live stream here, my professional production here, my my large group of producers here who are professionally trained. Not really. Anyway, I came across a picture of this game. Uh, if you had the old Nintendo Entertainment System, I remember when I was a kid living in a small town in Georgia, and went to the local Video Plus store. Uh, this was before the Blockbusters, you know, and the red boxes. Used to you go to a most towns had like 3 or 4 local video stores where you can rent movies, VHS tapes, and and eventually video games. And I remember being a kid. I had the NES. I had the pro wrestling game. I had the Tecmo World Wrestling game, which was at the time that was awesome. But went to the video store one day and was like, "Holy shit!" I didn't say "holy shit" because uh, my mama would whip me right in the middle of the store. Uh, but I did say like, "Oh wow, look, an actual NWA," because I hate it when was where what a couple weeks ago I talked about the whole name changes. I hate it when uh they switched NWA to WCW. I hated that, but I guess legal purposes for some reason I guess there was a small group of other promoters who had state claim at NWA. Blah blah blah. Who cares? Uh, yes, I seen this game for the NES. Finally seen it available for rent. Uh, Taught them into renting the game for me, and this game sucked. Oh my gosh! The only thing it was very it was bad. The only thing worse than this was the Super NES WCW game. I think that was almost as bad as this one. This one was bad. Um, but see, I mean, you gotta understand this was Super NES at the time, or not Super NES, but the regular cartridge, Nintendo Entertainment Center, or Nintendo Game System, Super Mario. Did you download it on purpose? Yes, you did. I know you did. I know you did because you're like, oh, cool. I remember having this game, so I'll download it. I bet you it freaking sucked, didn't it? Sorry, got diverted a little bit. But yeah, I remember this game sucking. Think I played it for. I think I tried it for a couple hours, and then I put back in Tecmo World Wrestling because Tecmo World Wrestling was probably the best wrestling game on uh the classic Nintendo. Um, yeah, I remember this game. Like I was so disappointed. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like Tecmo had a good wrestling game, but y'all couldn't have a good wrestling game. Uh, yeah, this game sucked. Um, the Super NES WCW game, it sucked, and this was I kind of I found it just popped. I'm like, WCW probably had like 3 decent wrestling games, maybe. Let's see. Now, didn't they have okay the PlayStation WCW versus the World? Uh, for the PlayStation, that was decent. It wasn't that bad. It was kind of fun, playable. Graphics a little eh. Even for PlayStation standards. Uh, let's see. Now the Nintendo 64. Uh, let's see. Trying to think. Now did they have one or two? Okay. Okay, so the first Nintendo 64 wrestling game was the WCW versus NWO World Tour. Now that game was pretty good. At the time, let's think at the time. You know this. You gotta understand this is 1996, 97 when the WCW NWO World Tour came out. So and it wasn't disc when you know downloaded or anything like that. It was they still did the cartridge and it was pretty decent. It was good. Uh, and of course, WCW NWO Revenge was very good. But that's it. Out next came PlayStation's WCW Nitro sucked. Backstage Assault sucked. Mayhem sucked. So in the WCW history, they only had 3 games that was worth a shit. The rest of them was worthless. Uh, and that's another sad history about the whole about WCW. Like I said, this I seen that picture pop up and had the Road Warriors on the cover. I remember seeing that Video Plus. Uh, like I said, it was the name of the local video store at the time. Uh, back before we got Blockbuster. So uh, then eventually they built a Kmart and a Blockbuster, and now the local Blockbuster is a uh, Anytime Fitness. Kmart's no more. They still had the Publix there. I think the Kmart now is what Roses Express, or I don't know, some little name a jig. But yeah, a lot of games back then probably do not hold up. Uh, but I mean, I'm pretty sure come. I mean, you talking 97, 2007, almost over 30 years. Uh, I'm pretty sure games 30 years from now will blow the games that come out today out of the water. But it's remembering when they were fresh, how good they are, though. Now I will say, what was it? I remember when I first got the regular big Xbox. It was black, had an X. I remember when I first got that system, and that was the first system where you can go live and like download games. And one night they had I was just thumbing, you know, clicking through it, see what they had, and they had Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I was like, wow, I remember this game. And I was like, wow, I remember staying up all night playing Mortal Kombat till like 2 or 3 in the morning. And this is, like I said, when Xbox came out, I had a full time job, uh, and I was like, let me download it, see if it's still any fun. So I downloaded it, stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning playing Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 because to me it was still fun. I mean, it didn't have Still had the graphics or whatever, but you was able to download it on Xbox. Didn't have the good at the time Xbox or PlayStation graphics, but it's still, as far as playing it and having fun, it was a fun game to play still. And um, I, I think I downloaded it like 8 o'clock that night or some kind of early that night or whatever, and wound up playing it to 3 a.m. that morning. Luckily, I was still in my 20s. I could still do that, but I felt it a little bit, but not too much. Uh, it was one of those like this is one of those activities you don't want to do at 3 until 3 a.m. in the morning. Then go to sleep. Um, but yeah, but yeah, there's some games that'll keep you up all night, and that was that game that kept me up all night. Um, now I can't remember the last time I stayed up all night to play a video game. I still haven't downloaded the new WWE 2K24 yet. Haven't downloaded it yet. Haven't even looked at it. I know they've shoot. I should have kept that up. I know they came out with I guess or announced a new DSL that's coming out soon. And my allergies. But yeah, like I said, that was not a fun game at all. Bad game, bad game, bad memories. Love the Road Warriors, but that game that game sucked. Oh, let's see. So, as Cody Rhodes would say, oh, what do you want to talk about? So Joe, you stayed up the other night playing. Did you play it for a long time? Now, didn't you say last week the game was pretty good, really good? Oh gosh, sorry. The weather's picking up. It's starting to. It's March. Pollen's in the air, and I work outside, so yes, it's going to get to me. Did an undercut job today, and of course, when in this area we undercut, there was a bunch of organics and stuff like that. So I'm definitely feeling it today, feeling it this evening. Not as bad as I was this afternoon, but this afternoon I just felt I felt it wasn't well. It was earlier today, not this afternoon. Best WWE game ever. Even better than No Mercy, which I like No Mercy. For some reason, it could be just me. I'm just that person. I kind of enjoyed WrestleMania 2000 better than I did No Mercy. No Mercy has some cool things. Um, and of course, as far as I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get to it this week. Maybe next weekend, because I know next weekend I have no wrestling shows, nowhere to be. Next weekend, I'm staying home. Next weekend, see, kids when you get that age, and I blame the pandemic too. Uh, Pandemic taught me well that hey, you know what, staying at home on the weekend, just getting yourself something to cook and relaxing, watch some movies or play some video games. It's not that bad. You do not have to go to whatever independent wrestling show, whatever gathering, or it's cool to visit friends, stuff like that. But sometimes it's like, you know what, dude, chill, just chill. Like I got a little person on my shoulder, go, dude, chill, come on, get you some rest, do your little chores, stay stay home on a Saturday night, enjoy yourself, get you some quality rest. have you that time that you so hopefully desire. A lot of times, a time where you can just, hey, you ain't gotta be nowhere. Nobody's expecting you to be anywhere. Uh, no work, nowhere to be. Just chill. Um, so yeah, so possibly next weekend, I might I'll I'll download definitely next week. I'll probably download it. Make sure it's all downloaded. Ah, sweet Muda. See that Great Muda was a well-deserving Hall of Fame member. That dude, I mean, he did the territories for a little bit, got seasoned. Came in as the Great Muda in the NWA. There's no telling he could have been a huge star over here. I think. Let's see. When like comic books was kind of making a comeback, uh, like in the see they went with the Crow version of Sting. Okay, so that probably wouldn't have worked out that well. Sometimes comic book fans are not wrestling fans, and vice versa. Um, Maybe later on, like when the comic books kind of made a little bit of comeback when the MCU movies and all that came about. Maybe like the comic book, maybe WCW marketed a comic book Sting, but at the as a Surfer Sting maybe. Uh, like yeah, Sting and Muda both were like walking, talking comic book. Okay, Muda didn't talk that much. Sting, on the other hand, he talked a lot. Uh, yeah, I'm not no, I don't know about the whole action figure Cody thing. That looks kind of that don't look good. Just want to play a game that doesn't look like a that doesn't look like a WCW versus the World on PlayStation. That's that's exactly what when I seen the video of the action figure Cody, the first thing I did think of was like, oh my god, that looks like WCW versus the World PlayStation. Uh, Anybody on that game, any character on that game, it looked kind of like I mean a little more enhanced, but kind of like that polygon whatever they called it deal. Uh, Cena kind of I don't know who's interviewing with us. Somebody finally asked him, "It's like, hey, when do you plan on retiring?" And he just said, "Hey, at 50, no matter what, I'm done. Uh, I'm not wrestling past the age of 50." So good for Cena. And Cena made news in the Oscars. I didn't watch the Oscars. Did anybody watch? Okay, I think 15, 16 million people watch the Oscars. A lot of people I know weren't one of them. I definitely wasn't one of them. Oscars used to be fun because, you sit there and uh, if you're sitting there watching with people, kind of guess who's the winner's going to be. And I sometimes will be pretty good at it because I'll be like, okay, what movie have I never heard of? And I'll pick that movie, and 9 times out of 10, the movie that nobody heard of would win because it's all about the art at the time, all about the art. Now it's just preachy, but um, but yeah. So next week I'll download 2K WWE 2K24. That's probably what I'll do all weekend long. I will actually relax, chill. Uh, the weather's kind of nice. I might fix me a nice little steak and a potato. Either that or fix me a nice little bowl of pasta. I ain't figured it out yet. It's a week away. And usually when I decide to do stuff, it's just on the fly. It's not the best way to live, but sometimes this could be interesting. I do a lot of things on the fly. Hence this YouTube channel. Had it popped in my head, and one day I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So here I am. Uh, and I thank you again for all the people who has subscribed to me and watched my stuff and commented on my stuff. I do appreciate every one of you. Would like a few more subscribers though. Um, let's see what else. That's something else I need to work on. Let's see. I know I've been talking about doing the Wrestling Gold Friday night. I need to go ahead and get it done before somebody actually does hear this and steals the name. Uh, because I would love for this channel to get big enough, and because I was just talking about the whole Atlanta wrestling war, a little bit. Uh, didn't spend too much time on it. Just want to acknowledge that because I did this. If you go back and watch my classic wrestling reminiscing, while I talk about the Tale of the Territories Vice series, where they talk about um, the Hawaiian territory, the 50th state championship wrestling, whatever they called it. The Rock screwed up a little bit. He just didn't know no better, or whoever uh, did the research didn't research it well enough. Uh, Leah Maivia wasn't the first female wrestling promotion owner or promoter. It was Ann Gunkel. Uh, but yeah, I would love for this channel to get better. That way I can I forgot the guy's name, but apparently he's worked in the wrestling business. He does a uh, Facebook page of uh, I want to get the name right because there's two different people using the similar name. Whoa. Um, not over here. Over here. Uh, let's see. Sorry. Let me do. Okay. Come on. Come on. List it. Okay. Let's find on that one. Sorry folks. Trying to find. I guess I'll just have to. Da 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 da. Okay, they're not friends. Come on. Not exactly friends, but following. There we go. What's it called? Come on. Okay, that's not it. Come on. Okay, here it is. It's a Facebook page called Wrestling History from Georgia. Not Georgia Wrestling History. Georgia Wrestling History. They did, I think, in the beginning. Whoever ran that website first, they they would like you know just basically put up cards and stuff like that. Give it a little bit of history. Then they had uh, internet wrestling critics uh, kind of sort of take over that. So mostly they talk about is current independent wrestling in Georgia. So this one, like I said, uh, let me hold on a second. Let me do a little screenshot here. Oh, sorry for. Hopefully, everybody didn't hear that. Boom, boom, and then add image. Okay, browse, and thank you, folks, for being patient with me. I'll be back to you. So yeah, here it is. Um, so yeah, this is the this is a Facebook page. If you guys got Facebook, uh, apparently the person who runs it or helps run this Facebook page here, he's a guy who's worked in the in the um, in the business. Uh, Not sure what. I think he's worked being a referee a few times. Don't know his complete story, but yeah, he's a. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my viewers' ears again. Um, oops. So that cool little page to follow. A lot of pictures of old timers, and put up a couple articles about the whole um, Ann Gunkel, the Georgia Wrestling Wars. Haven't completely read those articles yet, but definitely stuff like that just piques my interest a lot. Even though this happened before I was born. Uh, I don't think it didn't last too long. Like I said, it is what it was. I think whatever happened, she wound up taking over her husband's company, then pulled away from uh, Georgia Championship Wrestling. Took basically everybody except for Bob Armstrong. I think he was more faithful to the Fullers because I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Fullers gave Bob his first break, so of course you're gonna be faithful to people who gave you a break. But but eventually, because she was fighting the big dogs at the time, which was the NWA, and she couldn't refresh her talent or anything like that, and eventually she wound up losing that war. Um, then there was, if you read wrestling history books or articles, they didn't. I guess they would call them outlaw shows, which I guess you really don't like calling the independent shows outlaw shows, just because. Well, I guess you could since they're not WWE affiliated, but WWE is not doing anything to stop them. Uh, but they will take their talent and sign them and change their name and train them, and some of them become big stars and some of them don't. Um, but usually, you know, they let they don't try to run them out of business. Uh, but it was hard for her to get bookings on fresher talent. That's what they would NWA would do. These territories, these promoters, they would exchange talent, and but they would exchange talent stuff like that, and they really didn't exchange talent. What they would call outlaw shows. Um, I think uh, what was it? Jerry Lawler's book. He talked about how he was about to start his wrestling career, wrestling at Outlaw, because he did. I think he did advertise him on his radio show before he broke into earthquake. Before he broke in, Fargo, kind of said, "Hey, don't steal these um, outlaw people. This should have came to me." Blah blah blah. The rest is history. Fargo broke him in. Jerry Lawler became a big, huge star and a Hall of Famer and an announcer and all that good stuff. Anyway, so what I was saying is, hopefully one day I can get this channel bigger. Have this guy on here, maybe do like little interviews and stuff like that to say, hey, you know what? Um, because I'm not stupid. I can't really ask people to, hey, you want to come along the show that nobody really watches. Uh, well, it doesn't have a huge fan base right now. Uh, I'm not a big name or anything, but hey, come along. But I know you gotta build yourself up before you can do stuff like that. But um, this is a I will advertise this. It's like I said, he shares a lot of cool pictures, articles, old cards and stuff like that of classic Georgia stuff, which you can find a lot of classic uh, Facebook pages dedicated to sometimes all territories, sometimes uh, certain territories. Like this one's dedicated to Georgia. You got some dedicated to Mid Atlantic, some dedicated to World Class, some of them dedicated to Portland, Mid South UWF, all that good stuff. So it is. I, me personally, I do love the history. Uh, it intrigues me. What can I say? But yes, one of these days, I do need to buckle down and do the start the wrestling gold Friday night before somebody steals it, and I'll then feel shitty, like crap. Somebody stole my idea. I should have tagged it. Oh, there's okay. So let's go back to the comments. Let's see. We did a lot of steaks on the grill and chilling at home on weekends. Uh, oh, we did. We did a lot. Uh, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I do need to get a little bit of rest, relaxation. Uh, I need a week off. I need a week off of not needing to do anything or be anywhere. Completely shut the phone off. All that good stuff. And with that being said, let's segue to saying goodnight for the night. Appreciate everybody watching tonight. Uh, did a lot of bullshitting, a lot of digressing. Uh, again, rest in peace, Jackie Crockett. Condolences go to his friends and family. Um, good discussion on the Hall of Fame deal. Uh, I got the rat. I made fun of AEW. Didn't really mean to, especially not yet last night's show, but last week's AEW show. To In my opinion, that was probably the best AEW show in a long time. I mean, it seemed like they was kind of starting to tell stories and doing a storyline and doing programs that they can build upon on. Then last night was kind of okay. What happened? uh, for those of you who didn't watch, spoiler alert: Samoa Joe is still your AEW World Champion. He choked out Wardlow, so I guess there goes his big push again. Uh, that's that's a guy that looks like that's another one of those young talents. You think he could do something better? I think it would really could have he could have benefited a lot going to NXT, the performance program. But yeah, uh, Warlow could have benefited a lot from the performance center, maybe But I think they did kind of say, hey, I think they kind of gave him this, hey, you need to build up your own name first, and we'll bring you in and uh, re reevaluate, uh, basically get some get rid of some of the your bad habits and make you better, build you better. You know, you're like a, let's see what it is. Okay, you're the standard model Mustang, but we're gonna put you in our shop and you know put a bigger engine in you and do all this improvement and make you better. That's that sound better? Uh, make it a good street racer car. Yeah, that's what happens with a book. And see, and I say this plenty of times about Tony Khan. It's like, dude, get you a booker or a I think they did bring in that one producer or wherever she was from WWE. I don't know if she was a writer or something like that. Apparently, she won some Emmys. Uh, and when I watched last week's program, I thought, okay, this is somewhat WWE esque, but um, but it wasn't like a bad thing because it looked like things were put in place to actually kind of build on something. Uh, Apparently, build to the next pay per view. And sometimes they'll do that though. Sometimes they'll have like a seem like a nice little program built up for the next, and that's um, built up for the next pay per view. But that's what kind of WWE kind of does too sometimes. But lately, the last couple of years, especially with Triple H being a booker or the head of talent or head of creative, create the creative guy. He's got to put his stamp on it before it goes out. I'll spell it out. The head of talent or head of creation, wherever he is. Um, his stamp's got put on it before it goes on TV, and he likes to let things simmer. I mean, come on, you got a main. We're gotta finish the story. I want to finish the story. That was last year's WrestleMania, but it kind of didn't really break away from it, but let Cody kind of rebuild himself. Okay, got lost, built himself back up. Uh, had the match with or the matches with Brock Lesnar, then uh Nakamura, others, and then re-won the Royal Rumble. So now it's time to, and I hope I do kind of hope he does win, finish it, because I don't know how much fans will want to be along for the ride another year. I mean, they did the right thing. They kind of keep them separated. Then bring them back together, which is good, smart thing to do. But I remember when he was, I guess, head of NXT. How many Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano main events do they have on their uh, uh, not really paper or the premium live events for NXT? Seemed like that because NXT did do a whole lot of. I don't think they still do. I haven't watched that much NXT, if any. But but yeah, uh, but still, it seemed like almost every one they'll either be the main event or semi main event or something like that. Um, and they had some good matches. Did some crazy stuff, but some good matches. But anyway, like I said, going to call it a night tonight. Enjoy everybody walking. Enjoy everybody watching, tuning it in. Appreciate you folks. Appreciate the people in the chat. Like I said, leave a comment at the end. Uh, and that's what I guess you do that in regular videos. Anyway, drop a like, share with friends. If you're not a subscriber yet, be a champ and do it. And all the other fun stuff that the my little ending here will point you to. So everybody have a good night, have a good one, and take it easy. See y'all next week.